Welcome to the Solemn Vanguard channel. Today we had another stream, and boy oh boy, is this a funny one. So yesterday, we got a card that functions with unlocking your opponent's units. And so we all realized, wow, we're getting lock in standard. Now this is a fun one. Remember, a few years ago, people went like, oh, Bushiroad said that they'll never bring lock to standard. You know, Bushiroad said that the reboot, they did it to fix cheese problems. And they also said that lock isn't coming back. My uncle at Bushiroad said that Chaos Breaker will never come to standard because it's so toxic. You always have people making shit up that Bushi said. And it's so fucking funny because it's so hard to push against those lies when my friend at Locals told me that. But yeah, lock is back in standard. Now, personally, I don't really mind. I don't think it's a big deal. Lock was, in the history of Vanguard, I think the worst point for it was when Chaos Breaker just came out. And since then, it was never truly insane. Even at its best, I want to say in the Stargate booster, Victor was still so much better that it didn't matter. Was it annoying? Absolutely. I don't enjoy playing against Lock, but it wasn't toxic. So today we got the Chaos Breaker reveal, and that's exciting. But regardless, let's go over some cards. We have our Charging Jewel Knight Morvidus. Act on R. Cost Counterblast 1. Put a normal unit from your drop zone on the bottom of your deck. Soul Charge 1. And one of your units with Jewel Knight in its card name gets power plus 5k. Auto on VNR. When your other unit is placed on this unit's circle, draw a card. Okay, it's Jewel Knight support. That's not really mind-blowing. We have Explode Jewel Knight Lail. Auto on R when it attacks cost. Put 2 normal units from your drop zone on the bottom of your deck in any order. Soul Charge 1. And this unit gets power plus 5k until end of battle. Also, auto on VNR when your other unit is placed on this unit circle, that placed unit gets power plus 10k. So you basically are putting back units continuously on the bottom of your deck, whilst also getting bonuses for overcalling. Then we had Pure Heart Jewel Knight Ashley, which is the boss. Auto on VNR at the end of the battle it attack costs Soul Blast 2, so you're going to need all that soul charging we just saw. Search your deck for up to 1 grade 2 or less card with Jewel Knight in its card name, call it to R and shuffle your deck. So that's where you I guess create multi-attack and then call over and get the bonuses that we saw before. And then if this unit is on V, call up to 2 cards instead of 1. Auto on VNR when your other unit is placed on this unit's circle, cost Counterblast 1, and that placed unit gets critical plus 1. So once again, it's continuously just going to be overcalling and getting value from said overcalling. We get into our lucky boys. Starvader Craving Claw. Auto on VNR. When its attack or the attack it boosted hits a Vanguard, look at 5 cards from the top of your deck, reveal up to 1 card with Starvader in its name, and put it into your hand. So this is just solid ass premium support. Premium has way more Starvaders than standard will have, and you're just getting free pluses. A lot of people will probably enjoy this to probably find something like Freeze Ray. Search for that more easily. Also, Act R. If your opponent's Vanguard is grade 3 or greater, cost, put this unit into your soul, choose up to 1 of your opponent's locked cards and unlock it. If you unlock the card, choose 1 of your opponent's rear guards other than that unlocked unit and lock it. So you're basically unlocking something and then locking something else. Then auto on VNR when placed. If you have a Vanguard with Starvader in its card name, cost Counterblast 1, your opponent looks at the top card of his or her deck and puts it on an open R as a locked card. So you're already playing around the fact that some people wipe their own field. And then if that locked card was placed in the back row, you draw a card and this unit gets power plus 10k. So your opponent has to make the choice. Either they lose a front row or you draw a card. Then continuous on R. If your opponent's Vanguard is grade 3 or greater and he or she has a locked card, all of your Vanguard's original critical becomes 2. So they have a locked card, you get an extra crit. And then the big baddie, Starvader Chaos Breaker Dragon. Continuous on VNR. During your turn, if your opponent has a locked card, this unit gets power plus 10k. But now we get to the skill that is fucking hilarious to me. Act on V once per turn. Cost Counterblast 1. Your opponent gets an imaginary gift force. Yeah. You choose 1 of your opponent's rear guards and lock it. So you are giving your opponent a force marker, but then you get to lock something. Now this is weird because if this gives non-force decks force markers, that means every single non-force player now has to add force markers into their deck box, or do you borrow them from the chaos player? That's gonna be weird. Then auto on V when your opponent's locked card is unlocked. Cost Soul Blast 1. Retire 1 of those unlocked units, you draw a card, and your opponent removes a total of 2 markers from his or her circles or protect from his or her hand. and you get an imaginary gift force for each marker or protect removed. So you are not only giving them one force, but with every unlock, you are removing 2. So not only are we getting the marker destruction that we saw in their stride, like in the premium collection, but they're adding that now to standard. Like this card, you know, it locks, but it gives them a bonus, but it's then taking it away. And it then starts stacking its own force markers, because of course, every force deck needs to stack their own force markers, right? Holy shit. So what's funny is everything in this collection so far, apart from maybe Yuki, has been, you know, somewhat mediocre. Some people were even saying bad shit 2 years late and so forth. But this card feels very good. It's also very original. It's weird to me how it took them 3 fucking years now in V to finally get like interesting stuff. We already saw it in Bermuda and now we see it here. So I do think this playstyle is really cool, and we'll see if it's busted or insane. So far it seems to be good, especially decks that like require their marker creation. They're not gonna enjoy this quite as much. Especially I feel Excel decks are really gonna be hurt by this playstyle, because you know, protect decks, they will have usually 1 protect marker and they don't generate more. So sure, you give them a force and then you take away 1 protect and 1 force. They mostly don't lose much. Force decks, they're not gonna enjoy this very much. They'll go -1 force. Now, of course, some decks generate a bunch of them, so they don't really care. But Excel generally relies on the existence of extra circles in the first place to even do most of their plays. So this really, really hurts Excel the most, in my opinion. So we'll see what happens with that. That was all. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Do you think this is fair? Do you think this is broken? What do you think of Lock returning to standard? Put it down there, like, subscribe, and I will see you soon. Ciao.